This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Always follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. We are live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Very busy 3-hour program lined up today. Great guests, including Paul Stone, pro sports bettor, coming up at the bottom of the hour. He has a 2-point lead in the Circa College Hoops Challenge. We'll get his best bets for this weekend. He's 6-1-1, by the way, with his best bet the last 8 weeks. Pretty strong, huh?
You know what the push was? Texas, the
That's right.
Old Miss Michigan
Old
State
Miss Michigan
game.
State.
He had Michigan State.
That's right.
Tough.
Bruce Marshall on the program, and unique show today because a bunch of people are here at Circa and in Las Vegas for the Crown Basketball Tournament, and we are expected to be joined by Lon Kruger, dynamite human being, even a better head coach coming up at 6 o'clock Eastern Time, and Jim Jackson, who I think is one of the best analysts like in any sport. I think he's phenomenal on college basketball. So we have all that. We have the women's Final Four, huge night tonight in the NBA, and Paulie, day baseball as well. 4 games in action as we speak, some starting here very soon, and then a full slate of games coming up later on tonight.
Yep, great card. A lot going on. It's been a fun week. The history with the Padres and the Dodgers. You got to go back to 2003, the last time 2 teams started 7-0 or better. You have the launching pad in Sacramento. You have a lot of great stories. With the Yankees continue to hit home runs and it's set at a record pace. And then you have the Reds, which something hasn't happened until 1960. This stuff used to happen, I guess, on a regular basis in the 1920s, what happened. But how demoralizing, and it can tear apart a clubhouse that you lose back-to-back-to-back games 1-0. It's incredible.
Bad. It's pretty bad.
Phillies did it in 1960. Vasgersian mentioned it yesterday. And that is, as you texted me last night, nasty Nestor with the good start. And then you're like, are they going to do this again?
How about that?
And they did it again, 1-0.
You know what we should have brought up on the air yesterday? A little bit late now. Betting the Brewers' exact score, 1-0. What do you think that would have paid?
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff, but just for a little, pizza money, have some fun with it. Can you imagine? You would have been dancing in the streets last night.
Yeah, right.
So, okay, what's more concerning to you? That's now 3 consecutive games that they can't hit, and they lost 1-0? Or the fact that the third game came against Nestor Cortez?
Yeah, right. I know that's a tough call. And I know Vasgersian made the point about the familiarity, and they knew him, and going back into Yankee Stadium, but I would think it's all of it. It's like you can't hit, and now this guy shuts you down after he got so bad in the first start and gave up 4 home runs in 1 inning. So it's big on the veterans now. I mean, I'd apologize if I was a hitter. I'd go up to the pitchers and apologize and say, "This, I'm sorry, guys. This is embarrassing and ridiculous. You're doing your job. You get an A+ performance every night." And we're letting you down, and we can't even scratch a run across.
Sure. So they're in Milwaukee again tonight. You know what else I would do when I get back home? I would walk into the stands and shake the hands of the fans there and say, I don't know what to tell you. This sucks. I can't imagine paying to watch this product right now. Mm-hmm. And my name's Ellie. Who are you? Honestly, at some point, it's what are we doing here?
Yeah.
With these torpedo bats? That was all the rage. Ellie De La Cruz, the first game. 7 RBIs, went yard, and nasty Nestor Cortez was throwing 90 miles an hour against the Yankees in his debut start this year with the Brewers. Allowed 5 home runs, including the 3 first pitches that he threw in that game, and the Reds can get nothing against that guy?
Yep.
Watch what Nasty's numbers are at the end of the year. My guess is they're not going to exactly shine and say, this guy's in the mix for the Cy Young.
Yep, you're right. So, speaking of Cy Young, Imanaga with a great start. Only 70 pitches through 6. Cubs have left the bases loaded a couple times. There was a big Machado error. 3-1 Cubbies batting in the bottom of the 6th. And then interested in a couple games coming up. The Yankees taking on the Pirates. 22 home runs in their first 6 games. That's a record. The Yankees have more home runs than the Pirates have scored runs on the season. And Keller's going on his birthday. And then A's against the Rockies. Again, the Rockies at home, starters 1.35 ERA, relievers ERA of almost 10. And we'll see if this continues, if the Rockies pitching, or if the A's continue to get it done offensively. Now that we go to Coors, and I know the weather's going to be a problem, but all that's coming up with a lot of day games, a lot of teams opening up with their first home games.
Yeah, that game is starting very soon. And when you first saw who is going today in this game, Feltner for the Rockies, Bido for the A's, and you saw a total of 9.5, you're like, wait a second here. I get it; these offenses can't hit at all, but this is a game at Coors with not exactly elite pitching going today. I know the Rockies have been really, really good to begin the year, but it's, again, a home game for them. And you're going to put a 9.5 on this, and then you look at the wind like you talked about. It's blowing in almost directly at the batters today, touching 16, 17 miles an hour. So I don't think it's going to be the launching pad that it has been in typical years. So because, again, when I'm looking at all the numbers on the overnight, I'm like, how many times have we had a total below 10 at Coors in recent years? Probably not very often. But that speaks to the reason why. Also, Grisham in that game against Keller and the Pirates. Again, a lot of the stuff's going to be very small sample sizes. 5 of 11 career, 4 singles and a double. That's a .455 batting average for him. And the Mariners coming up, in about a half an hour right now, they're taking on the Giants. Now, how about this? Threw me for a loop today.
Yeah, it got me too.
Because I'm like, wait, Luis Castillo?
Another Babka?
Yeah.
2 Babkas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's back-to-back games for the Mariners where they're going to pitch somebody named Luis Castillo.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the K props, and I'm like, wait a second, it's 2.5 minus 160? And I'm texting people, I'm like, does this make sense? They looked into it like, yeah, remember Castillo went the other day. It's a different guy. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, now it does make sense.
I think the Giants are good. They're taking money, too.
Sure.
25-cent move. Verlander going.
And Verlander's K prop is 5.5. Couple of numbers here on him. And we'll go back to last year as well. But in his first start this year, 5 innings at Cincy, struck out 5 Reds. Again, their bat's not exactly clicking right now. He faced the Mariners team, this team, one time last year when he was with Houston. It was in Seattle. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 9 Ks. Opposing starters are 5-2 over their K prop against Seattle this year. And this is in order. Going back, Skubal had 8, Mize 6, Sears 7, Springs 9, and Severino 6. Can Verlander get 6 strikeouts today against this anemic offense in, let's say, 5 innings?
Yeah, I would think he'd be able to pull that off.
So do I.
Absolutely. Horrendous what's happened so far. Atlanta hitting 151. Can they get a win? How about this? 0-7, and they're laying 240 at home against the Marlins. And the Dodgers, how often are you going to see this? What if Yamamoto doesn't have it? What if he's off, right? The Phillies are 40-1 to score the most runs today. When are you going to get that price?
Is that
They're
right?
at home, yeah. The respect for Yamamoto and the Dodgers, that's a prop that's up every day. Will Hill Caesars, but they're 40-1, and Luzardo was filthy the first time out. And then to what we said earlier about the Reds, and I know Texas was involved in 2 of those 1-0 games. 19 2/3 of scoreless pitching. Tampa, this is finally a road game for Tampa. 19 of their first 22 at home, but Texas, every game's gone under but 1. So we'll see if they can continue this in a day game, and that's 8.5 the total with Tampa and Texas. They played a lot of low-scoring games thus far.
Do you like the way the league did that, by the way? For the Rays at home, 19 out of the first 22 at home.
Yeah, to throw them a bone. Yeah,
I think it's
it's going to come back to bite them later in the season.
Sure, that's a little lopsided, though, I think. A little too much, I would say. You mentioned Imanaga earlier. Our buddy Mike Palm has a big ticket on him to win the Cy Young. Man, that guy can be super efficient. You said he's through 6. He's out there again in the top of the 7th. He's only thrown 74 pitches.
Yeah, just made one home run. That's it.
No walks, couple of Ks, only a few hits. That's it. But man, he can be really, really good. And it's only our second year watching him here in the States, obviously. And then this Red Sox game against the Cardinals is an absolute shootout. 2 teams there, right? Red Sox and Orioles early on here to maybe look at their games to go over. Because again, wasn't great exactly with the hitting for the Red Sox, but they're at home now. And Devers does not have a hit today. He's batting 107 on the year. But at some point, those numbers will correct itself. And we were talking to somebody off the air yesterday, and they're just
maybe.
like, he looks just at the, like he never entered the season in shape. Like he looks big.
Big fella. And
not,
excuses.
Right,
Yep.
and not ready for the season to start here.
Yeah, Buehler had nothing either. Buehler gave up 5 earned and 5 runs as well.
Here's one bet that I have later on tonight. D-backs are playing at the Nationals. It's Fott versus Irvin. A little bit of money initially here on Washington. So I did a K-prop here. Starter Ks versus the Nats this season. Wheeler had 8. Luzardo 11. Nola 8, Barrios 8. The Nationals have the second highest K rate in baseball right now at more than 30% of their at-bats ending with a strikeout. Fott, I was tipped off to him in the offseason to bet him maybe at a huge number to lead the league in Ks. So today, 5.5, I bet him over at even money. Hopefully the Nat Sticks can show a bunch of swing and misses and just K 6 times, and I'll be happy with that performance.
All right, and the Nats one of 5 teams with no Yurfie yet either. Colorado, Houston, the Nats, I believe Philly and Seattle without a Yurfie as well. So if you want to play that too. Good. This is wild, all these day games. Fantastic action.
Don't you like it?
A lot of movement. Yes.
Love it.
2-0 Mets, by the way, as well. That's in the third. Want to know where the money's really going? Unlike other sources, our betting splits come straight from Circa and DraftKings. Circa, known for taking big bets from pro bettors. DraftKings provides a broader market perspective. See the percentage of bets versus percentage of handle on every game across every major sport, helping you make smarter bets. People love it. VSiN Summer Special right now, $59 until August 1st. Every pick. Nigel on soccer coming up later. Mackin with all the trends. Wes on golf. VSiN.com/subscribe and the prop analyzer as well. $59 until August 1st. VSiN.com/subscribe.
Imanaga with back-to-back Ks of the Padres in the top of the 7th. He's still in, again, only at 81 pitches. So he went over his outs prop. He is at 20 outs already. 4 Ks again, 4 hits, only 1 earned. Really humming in that game. And the A's and Rockies are finally underway at Coors. Yankees-Pirates coming up here in a minute. And then, like we said, bottom of the hour, thereabouts, Castillo takes on Verlander. Seattle's in San Francisco. Good card today. You're right. Up next, we'll hit the NBA. The Lakers-Warriors game was so big on many levels last night, especially when you consider what would have happened to Golden State with a loss. We'll kick it around coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Time. There's nothing more valuable. It's what drives everyone to make the most of every moment. We celebrate living large in the now. In a city where time disappears, we create experiences that electrify the soul and memories that will last forever. We go big, we go all night, and here, everyone is invited. So get loose and get loud.
This is Circa. You'll have the time of your life.
So, Paulie, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah. Came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
On the next A Numbers Game, the national title game is set. Wes Reynolds with his thoughts and his bet, plus his early week thoughts on the Masters, a tradition unlike any other. Jay Kahn on the NHL, specifically on Alex Ovechkin and more. And Carl Sack on the NBA as we are in the home stretch. Final 5 games or so in the association. It's A Numbers Game, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, right here at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
No joke, it looks like a blizzard right now at Coors Field. Blizzard baseball during the day. So,
this is crazy.
Feltner, it looks like a wiffle ball out there, like that Kerry Wood game.
Yeah, right.
But he has the good stuff today. Struck out the first two guys for the A's, then gave up a hit. But that is something. I don't know how. I mean, that looks like kind of like thick flurries coming down as well.
Yeah.
Very fast. The wind is whipping like we talked about, 15, 16, 17 miles an hour. It's got to be fun to play baseball in that, right?
No, I can't. Cold, I can say yes. And you get jammed, it sucks. I don't know what to tell you. Never played in a blizzard before. Brutal.
I wanted to bring this up to you, and then the number just changed as we were coming back from a break. So the Padres-Cubs game, Imanaga cruising through 7. They go to the bottom of the 7th. Cubs with a 3-1 lead. At DraftKings, the total was just 5.5. Consider how great the Padres bullpen has been. And Imanaga at a pitch count that might be manageable for one more inning. I was going to say, Paul, we should probably hop on the under 5.5 here. They just moved it to 4.5, and the under is plus 140. Will we get another run now? 5.5, I'd say it might be worth a bet. 4.5, I'm not going to get there.
Cool moment, too. It's singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Sandberg, Ferguson Jenkins, I think it was, and Andre Dawson. That was great with the Cubs legends up there.
Very nice.
It's good. Yeah, that was excellent. Sandberg was my favorite ball player growing up. What do you think tonight? NBA, look at this again. What, you got 7 games, double-digit spreads? Wow. Big numbers here. Hachimura won't play. Lakers up to 15 against the Pelicans. What did you think last night? That was tough. I mean, I'm so disappointed with Luka, where he hasn't had that unbelievable performance yet as a Laker, and then it's a huge game. You're fighting for the 3 seed. LeBron, after the game, that's the best I've felt since I came back. LeBron was great. He goes over his player prop. Hachimura plays well. Reeves plays well. Luka can't make a 3. Luka's horrible. 6 of 17 shooting.
He was one of the worst players in the court last night.
Yes.
I was severely disappointed in him. That stunk.
Yep.
Did you realize this, though? Because of what happened last night and other teams winning their games, like Memphis at the buzzer with Morant, if Golden State lost the game last night, they would have dropped to 44-32 on the year. Well, who else is 44-32 in the Western Conference? The Clippers, and the Clippers are the 8 seed. And I believe right now the Clippers have the tiebreaker over Golden State. They would have, the Warriors would have been the 9, I believe, with a loss last night.
Oh, it's
That's
incredible.
how big the game was.
Yep, you nailed it. Denver 30 losses, Lakers 30 losses, Golden State 31. Lakers have the tiebreaker. Memphis, Clippers, Minnesota 32 losses. Nice win. 19-2 when Curry and Butler play. Huge game tonight against Denver. Denver now is the favorite in some spots. They're 1 at Caesars. I love Denver if they play people. But we're on early. Perilous trade. It's a late game. We'll see what Malone does. Because remember, they sat people in the last game.
They did.
And beat them. So it's tough without that big win back-to-back in Denver because they sat people in the last game. This is wild. Because remember, the Lakers got, after this win tonight when they take out the Pelicans, they got 2 in a row in OKC.
So Kerr was asked about this immediately after the game last night, and he said his starters are absolutely going to play in this game.
Good for him.
So if he sticks by that.
Yeah, because of the scheduling, too. Remember, there's only 2 games Monday. Everyone has off next Saturday. But something to keep an eye on, though, too, and monitor. A lot of these teams are going to play 4 or 5 games in the final week of the season. Check out the schedule. It's huge.
Where do you think
it's
this number, that's a great point. Where do you think this number goes if Denver decides to, sit Joker and a couple of other guys?
Oh, man.
Because Golden State was just, 14 last time when they sat everybody and they lost?
Yeah.
Would it go to...
I can't imagine he sits that. He
I don't
does
think so
that,
either.
Because they just sat in the last game.
Right.
And they've had last night off, too. So I think they're going to go off the favorite. I think they're going to win. And try to lock down that 3 seed.
Now, Hachimura was terrific last night.
Uh-huh.
My question is, are they going to get anything off the bench?
I think they can. I know Redick was disappointed with what they were doing offensively, and he said we pointed out about spacing on both ends of the floor, specifically on offense at halftime, and our guys just didn't do it. I don't know. It was just a weird game. I still have a lot of confidence in them, and it is impressive what... Now, that lineup they played last night, Golden State's 12-0 when they start that lineup. And as I mentioned earlier, 19-2 with Curry and Butler. So, great win. Curry was awesome. I just think it was more about the Lakers. They just do dumb stuff sometimes.
They really do.
Yeah, and it's like, and they can't get that same game where everyone's cooking offensively with the big 3, and then if the others chip in as well. But
Yeah, that's where I'm at with the Lakers.
Yeah.
It's going to be, if they don't have Luka, Reeves, who's so good, and LeBron cooking in every game, I don't know how far they're going to go.
Are we going to admit now that was a fluke what was going on defensively?
Yeah.
Teams were just missing wide open threes for about a month?
Think so.
Yeah.
And I will say this, too, about the Golden State Warriors. Now, Pods, I mean, he was so good last night. They're not going to get that every game. But I think the guy that might be able to play like that the rest of the way moving forward, and if he does, then this team might be the second best team in the West, or phrased a different way, could give OKC the biggest problem. And that's Kuminga.
Yeah, he was great.
I thought Kuminga was awesome both sides last night.
And he was questionable, too.
That's right.
I know.
And he's been really good, like, over recent weeks anyway. And we've been waiting for a long time to hear, for him to, like, blossom and turn into this next, like, great guy for Golden State. It hasn't exactly happened. But if we're watching that right now, then, yeah, Golden State's going to be, because they need somebody like that. And Moody had his moments last night, too.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody else could step up like that, like a Kuminga, and he plays like that offensively and defensively, then watch the hell out.
Yep. It'd be a great battle. Tough, though. You got to win that if you're the Lakers. Got to win that game.
Yeah, they just...
now you got to steal one in OKC.
It was a bad start. They were battling back the whole time.
Right. Now, they can get a gift tonight. If Houston can upset OKC, then I would think OKC's going to sit some people because they can't get 70 wins. Because I don't think they're going to play people Sunday and Tuesday against the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's incentive to knock them back in the seed line, too. I don't know. But I think if they lose tonight, then they would sit some people in one of those Laker games.
I am not surprised by the move in that game. Thunder opened up 5.5. They took money.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, this great run, ATS.
Who wants to fade them right now?
12 in a row.
Right? 5.5 felt like a manageable number. Like they can go out there and do it again.
Yep.
Rockets are a good story. They're going to be really, really good in years moving forward. They're the 2 seed, and like nobody's taking them seriously.
Mm-hmm. Denver favored at almost every book now. As we're talking.
If Kerr's going to play everybody, should they be favored? I mean, this Golden State run is. OKC's been the hottest team in basketball, but Golden State's right there with them.
Yep. How about what do you think about the Celtics? You got any player props, or else are you looking at? Boston's laying 14 tonight against the Suns.
Our buddy Chris Massaro loves them tonight.
Think they bury them? Yeah,
loves them. I'll give you a couple of player props here. Derek White on the year. 48 and 24 over 14.5 points, 6 straight games over 4.5 assists. He is also, this is the one I like maybe the most, 6-1 over 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists last 7 games. Guy's been he's been filling up the box score a lot. The only problem is, what if this turns out to a repeat of what happened against the Suns when they just recently played, and Boston beat him? They were up by like 40 the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Killed them.
Yep.
And then so you would think that they're going to yank guys out eventually.
Yeah.
So there's that. Also, the Bulls are back in action.
Well, 5-point move on the under. I'm not sure about that.
And neither am I.
240 down to 235, Portland and Chicago.
So Giddey on the year, 53 and 13, under 19.5 points. Think about that for a second. And 3 straight unders. But that was after a long streak of going over 19.5 points. Kobe White, 6-1 over 31.5 PRA last 7 games. That's the guy that I want to attack tonight. He might get 32 points in this game.
Yeah. And you see a lot of teams going through the motions as well, playing backups. But how about the Milwaukee game? Now, Grimes goes over.
Yeah.
We got lucky because there was other guys who were going off for the Sixers as well. Philly's up 17. And then Giannis said, okay, let's get down to business.
You know what?
That's never happened in NBA history. He had 35, 17, and 20.
And 20 assists.
Can you believe that?
Oh, he's having an insane season, yeah.
Yeah, that's never happened.
Now, I was...
30, 15, and 15 has been done like five or 6 times. But
I happen to be stuck in some severe traffic during that game yesterday. I mean, downtown Las Vegas right now. It's a suicide mission. So I did not see... Did you see what was the in-play at that point? I think it was like 37-22 Philadelphia.
Right. It was Milwaukee was still like $2 to win the game.
Were they? Yeah, I figured it was something big like that.
Because remember, Philly just did that against Houston. They were up like 25 at halftime and blew it. But that was everyone. That guy was like 13 or 14 shooting in the game for Philly, and then Grimes went off. Yeah. Right. And they blow the big lead, and then Giannis just takes over, and they come all the way back.
Yep. So I would implore everybody to go to VSiN.com, click on tools, and go to the NBA Player Prop Analyzer. A lot of players tonight are either 6-1 over or 6-1 under their props. I'll give you some of them. Darius Garland, 9 straight games over 3.5 rebounds. It is juice tonight. Jamal Murray, if he plays, 8 straight games over 3.5 rebounds. And Jalen Duren for the Pistons, 7-0, over 12.5 points last 7. And a bunch of other dudes are really popping off the page as well. But I like some of these games tonight.
They should be high scoring. A lot of them. Cleveland should be able to drop 140 on San Antonio. They should. I'm not joking around.
Yeah.
I mean, that's up to 242. Edge Boost, the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. Card never declined. No usage fees, no minimums, no issues with the crazy fees as well, or waiting on a wire. 100% approval for all betting deposits. EdgeBoost.bet, promo code FTM. Deposit 25. Edge Boost will match the deposit. EdgeBoost.bet, code FTM.
Professional sports bettor Paul Stone on the program coming up next. It's the final weekend of the Circa College Hoops Challenge. He has a 2-point lead over JBT. He'll tell you his best bets next.
And they're off.
For just $9.99, VSiN's got you covered for March Mania with a VSiN Pro subscription. You'll get access to bracket breakdowns, daily expert picks, as well as our March Mania betting guide, exclusive to Pro subscribers. Go to VSiN.com/subscribe today to sign up for just $9.99. And don't forget to catch us on the go with the VSiN Watch app, or listen on SiriusXM Channel 158, and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome in. We are live downtown Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino. Paul, you know what drives me nuts about East Coast people is that, they're great people, but they think and they are convinced that the only good pizza in the country is on the East Coast. And they are so wrong, it's not even funny. I bring this up because when we were at the Super Bowl a couple years ago, we were at that very famous pizzeria called Pizzeria Bianco. How good was that spot?
You lived up to the hype.
Netflix special, 4-hour wait to get in.
Didn't the guy from New York say it's the best pizza in the world?
That's right, yeah. It's outstanding. Las Vegas, finally, we have good pizza out here. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because our next guest, he is traveling the country right now, and he is at an Italian joint in Mesa, Arizona. He joins us here on the Progressive Guest Line. Paul Stone is on the show. Paul, thanks for the time today. Where are you at right now? Which restaurant?
I believe I'm pronouncing it correctly. La Italian restaurant in Mesa, Arizona. They were kind enough to allow me to use my table and visit with you guys for view.
And there you go.
You jinxed it.
We'll try to go to...
Come on.
Well, the food, I'm sure, is awesome, but the Wi-Fi needs a little bit of work, I guess.
No, everything was good.
All right, so we'll try to reconnect on the phone and get his best bets. All right, he is 6-1-1 in his best bets, by the way. Remember, he started off, I think he was, 5-0, 6-0 maybe?
Yeah, yep.
With the best bets. And he has a 2-point lead over Jonathan Von Tobel. The winner, gets $1,000 to Barry's? Pretty good. You can do a lot of damage here at the steakhouse at Circa for $1,000. Yep. Paul Stone rejoins us here via the phone. Sorry we could not reconnect with the video there, Paul. But, okay, let's begin. Were you 5-0 or 6-0 on your best bets to begin this contest?
Well, I think I'm trying to think right now. Am I 6-1-1 right now?
Overall, yeah. Yep.
Right. I started out 6-0, and I had a push, I believe, in the Michigan State Ole Miss game, and then lost my most recent best bet. So I believe I got out to a 6-0 start on the best bets in the contest.
All right. Now, JVT is taking this quite seriously. He said that he was, listening to an appearance that you made on a podcast earlier this week. Now, were you did you think that JVT might do that and might have that approach? And did you, on the air, maybe try to throw him off the scent? Or were you really, giving out your real plays on that podcast?
Well, no, I absolutely felt like JVT would listen. And I don't know what two picks. You guys probably know what selections he's made. And I was guessing that one of his selections would be Auburn plus 2.5. And I don't know if I'm right or not. But just knew that from seeing that he picked Auburn to win the national championship. I kind of thought in those terms, and the fact he's kind of continued to talk them up. But I have to do on my appearances. I can't be using, when I appear with you guys and appear on other programs, I can't be using smoke and mirrors and trying to give people head fakes. I've got to try to give sincere opinions. So I put one. I didn't put all my cards on the table, but I put one selection that I used in the contest, and he probably made it a point not to play that side or toe.
All right, then officially, what did you do? And tell us, explain why you like it.
Well, both of my selections are going to be, as you guys know, we've only got two games in the Final Four on Saturday. We've got two sides and two totals. We have to make two selections. One is a best bet worth 1.5 points. The other, just another selection worth 1 point. And both my selections are coming from the Duke-Houston game, and they're correlated. First of all, Duke, they've won 15 straight games, all but 3 of those by double digits. You look at their 4 tournament wins, only one of those by less than 20 points, that being the 100-93 victory over Arizona in the Sweet 16. And particularly this last game that they won to make the Final Four, they handled Alabama 85-65 in Newark in impressive fashion. That was an Alabama team that had hit 25 of 51, a historic performance in their previous game, a 113-88 victory over BYU. But Duke, that was a different animal from that three-point line. The Blue Devils contested not only every shot, but they challenged every pass. Alabama only 8 of 32 from three-point land against Duke. That played a huge role in Duke's easy 20-point victory over Alabama. And I bring that up because Houston, they lead the nation, close to the national lead if they're not still leading as a team, three-point percentage at 40% as a team. They've got 3 guys that shoot 40% or better from beyond the arc. Milos Uzan, 44.5%. And then L.J. Cryer and Emmanuel Sharp, both 42%. The Cougars more selective in their three-point shooting than Alabama. They only attempt about 20.5 three-pointers a game. Alabama almost 30, but still that plays a significant role in their offensive attack. I think Duke's going to be able to negate some of that. The Blue Devils only allowing 31% from beyond the arc. So that certainly played a factor in one of my plays, which is under 136, a little more support for that. Houston, number one in defensive efficiency, according to Ken Palm, 360th in adjusted tempo, only give up 58.3 points per game. So obviously they're very good, are the Cougars defensively. And Kelvin Sampson, he understands the Cougars cannot get in a scoring fest with the Blue Devils. They've got to grind it out. They've got to win the turnover battle. They've got to get down and dirty. They got to drag Cooper Flagg and the Blue Devils into the mud, so to speak. So my best bet is going to be Houston +5. That's worth 1.5 points. And then my other selection in that same game, Houston and Duke, remaining under the contest total of 136.
All right. Good breakdown. Good luck to you. Let's assume both favorites win. 3 weeks ago, we asked Nick Bogdanovich, what's the number? He said, pick 'em. Now you're seeing look-ahead lines, Duke 4.5 against Florida. Would you take Florida in the title game?
I saw some I think DraftKings, I think they've got all the possibilities up right now, and I should have those down. I think it was a little bit less than 4.5. That may or may not be, what the market as a whole shows. But if it's 4.5, I'd have to take Florida outside of an injury or, some really crazy happenings in the semifinal games. That sounds a little bit high, but I would take the points if that was the line.
We also have the Final Four in the Crown tomorrow out here in Las Vegas, the semifinals. Did it catch your eye? Villanova only 2 against Central Florida.
It really did. I mean, Villanova, the thing about the Crown tournament, which is a very unique concept, is the fact that some of these teams don't have their full complement of players. Some have gone into the portal and others have left for various reasons, but Villanova seems to have all their players. They seem to have all hands on deck, and I think they're, most of their success this year was at home there in Philadelphia, but I think they're the better team. I like their pedigree. I think Villanova wins this game over Central Florida. And Central Florida, his name escapes me right now, but their top player, who's their top scorer and rebounder, is not playing. So that was part of my handicap as well, the fact that he has left the team and is not available for UCF. So I like Villanova minus the points in that game.
Okay, very good. If you win, again, $1,000 to Barry Steakhouse here. It's Dynamite at Circa. What are you going to go with? You going to just say, give me the tomahawk, and my wife and I are going to share it? What are you going to do?
Well, I'm hoping. I know that you can spend a day with you two for $5,000. I'm hoping they'll give me $1,000 credit, and I'll just hand y'all $4,000. Y'all probably take that. But what I'll probably do, we'd probably do the Cabana, maybe the opening weekend of Labor Day college football. That opening week 1, we'd probably get you guys hopefully be able to be there, and Matt Human, some of the VSiN personalities, and maybe some of my fellow competitors. We'll get some guys there and have a good time.
Very good. You can follow Paul on X.
The thing about it is I'm kind of taking the gas here, guys. It's like on the last hole, JBT had a 50-footer for birdie. I had a 3.5-footer. He drained his 50-footer, and then I 3-putted from 3.5. So I'm just hanging on.
I mean, what were you 2 weeks ago to win this thing? Like 95%?
Probably. I mean, I think I was 6 points ahead of my nearest competitor. At one point, the difference between me and second was greater than the distance between second and 15. But those days are gone, and JBT's charging hard, and he has his eye on the prize. So we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah. Well, best of luck, Paul. Great run here in the tournament, and thank you for your time. Enjoy Arizona.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate for the little snafu there, and we'll catch up with you next week or down the road.
Be good. There
Thanks,
you go.
buddy.
You can follow him on X at Paul Stone Sports, and the name of the podcast is the Paul Stone Sports Podcast as well.
They should have beat him last year, but then they had the injury.
Yeah.
And they also only scored 51 points, and that was a low-scoring game last year. I think it's big how they're going to call this and officiate it. If they let Houston be physical, That's huge. If they call the ticky-tack stuff and they're in foul trouble, and I thought Duke got a tough whistle in the
game against Arizona.
Game. Excuse me. Yes, right. So that's going to, like Jay Billis said, though, they've let stuff go the entire year.
Right.
Carl said it's been a wrestling match with her. That favors Houston, no doubt.
I don't want to brawl, but I want the teams to be able to play.
Yeah.
I hate ticky-tack fouls.
Yeah, especially with Carolina Gonzaga final.
Oh, God.
You don't want to see guys in foul trouble and decide it that way.
Coming up, win some, lose some, and the latest on the Final Four. Janai Broom will tell you how he's feeling going into the Florida game next here on VSiN.
Got a good thing coming, just wait and see. It's a good.
Join Matt Brown and Mike Somich on Ready, Set, Bet as they get you ready to make your bets for all the weekend games.
We're going to be at the end of this thing with money guns, or I'm just going to be like, begging people for change out on Fremont Street.
It feels like the Twins and the Guardians have higher floors but lower ceilings.
Don't miss out on crucial advice for live betting once the game starts, as well as looking ahead to the upcoming action. Tune in to Ready, Set, Bet, weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the sports betting network. last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
They did it again. What a run. Chattanooga wins the NIT. They were underdogs in all 5 games. Big dogs in a couple of them as well. And they get it done in overtime against Irvine. The Crown, Central Florida plus 240. And UCF over 149.5 up to 154, 88-80. Blazers from 1 up to 5. No problem against Toronto. Giannis, first player in history. 35 points, 17 rebounds, 20 assists. Players in history with 30, 15, and 15 in a game. Giannis, Bird, Wilt, Luka, Harden, Magic, Joker, Robertson, and Westbrook. That's the list.
Oh, wow. Okay.
As he took over. Morton, most strikeouts, 8-1. Yankees, most runs, plus 550. Of course they explode. We give the over when they face Gallen. He shuts them down. It's the only time they've been shut down. 22 home runs on the season. They already got to Keller early. 2-0 Yankees in the second. And the Blues win again. 11 in a row for the Blues. Also great to meet Cody from Indiana before the show. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. How about a compilation of dogs running with sticks? And the big one, he's up on his hind legs. And most of the time, these sticks are bigger than, hey, look at this guy hanging. Oh, he brings it into the house. The branch just hops up on the couch. What are you doing, buddy? Get out of here. You can't do that. And this guy hanging.
We've seen this one before.
This one, right, yeah. We played this one, an individual one where he's on the snowman and trying to yank the arms off and climbs up there. And this guy trying to figure out, how this thing's a huge stick, but how am I going to get it through? He's trying to get the obstacle course, right?
That's not going to work, pal.
Yeah, the little fella here. Okay, get out of the way, going for a walk. Now the stairs. Right?
Oh, shatters it.
That one broke. I know, that's tough. Gonna need a new bat for that one. And then the little guy, okay. Dog's got the little one here, the pitter-patter about the stick. Then we go into the forest and the woods. That's the biggest one you're ever going to see,
Oh, that's
right?
a sequoia right there.
Yeah, that's a log. And he's got it. And then the best for last. Can he get it? He's trying to jump up and grab it off the tree and grab it down. And there he is. Got it. There you go. Awesome. He jumped on the tree to hang on and tear that thing off. Oh, that's awesome.
You see
Great job,
the way
guys.
that he has it cradled and he's only on his front legs?
Yes.
His back legs were up in the air.
That is an all-time compilation. Dogs walking with sticks. I love. They're so good. And Luke, we'll put that up later on Instagram. The best is when also the guy brings it into the house on the couch. It's like, what are you doing? You can't have that in here. Lose some, the Reds. First team since 1960 to lose 1-0 3 straight games. Incredible. See if they score tonight. Memphis from 3 up to 5.5. They win by 2. The Crown, Villanova from 3.5 up to 6. They beat USC by 1. Cincinnati from 4.5 up to 6. They lost outright. Do you have 9, Luke? This is going to be a good one for Mitch. On the beach. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Watch out!
Oh! Comes in like a linebacker.
Oh, he nailed him. I know. Blindside. Hanging out. Hey, buddy. We didn't even see him. Why would he do that? And the guy, look at him working around like, what's your problem,
Get away
man?
from my buddy.
Yeah. The Bulldogs are hanging out on the beach. These two are ready to say hello, and this guy comes in with a running start like a tank and just runs them over.
They probably don't know their own power.
Yeah, right. I mean, oh, that's incredible. Paul Stone's coming. We're going to meet Dr. John for the NFL draft. They got a Masters party out here. Pick your dates. Can't wait to meet everyone. Beyond the booth, VIP cabana, Circa, Stadium Swim, owner's box, beautiful waitresses, your own server, your own bathroom. The kiosk off to the right will play blackjack, do shots, Mitch will dance, DJ. We got it all in the best pool in the world. VSiN.com/Beyond the Booth. Reserve your spot today. Bring all your buddies. Start of the NFL or Paul Stone college football, as he mentioned. Playoffs, draft. VSiN.com/Beyond the Booth.
All right. So did you realize this? I totally forgot about the point spread the first time that they played. It's when Florida went to Auburn and they won the game outright and they were up by 20+ in the second half and they were great in that game.
7?
10.5 or 11?
What?
Yeah.
Auburn was that much?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, their power rating was to the moon at that time, and Florida was really good, but
right.
You obviously looking back, the power rating was not nearly as high as it should have been on Florida.
Huh?
So now Florida 2.5. There's one spot in Las Vegas, the win that's had 3 now for a couple of days, and the juice has been going back and forth. I don't think it's going to get to 3 at any other spot.
No. And they went to 3 here, Nick Bogdanovich said, for a second, and it got gobbled up immediately. So this is a tough one. I think it's going to go under. Florida, I mean, this is what you want with the heavyweights here. The records, how well they're playing. Florida 16-1 the last 17. The only loss was to Georgia. The thing that could get them here, though, and it was a couple people making the case about the comfort level, about don't worry, we got this. How many bad first halves? How many slow starts? And they've done it twice in this tournament where, okay, well, there's 4 minutes left, we're losing, now we got to go.
Sure.
And Clayton bails them out or they hit some threes. You can't do that here. These guys are too good.
Mm-hmm.
So you fall behind here or have a bad 5 minutes. That's it. You're going home. That's the case that can be made against Florida. The case against Auburn would be what happened the first meeting, and they struggled from 3 in that loss at home. And maybe Florida's just a better team, and Florida has a hell of an A game when they put it all together. Plus, does Auburn also lose their minds and not get it down to the big guy?
Right. So he was awesome against Michigan State. The Spartans early never had an answer.
Right.
Then, of course, he went down in the game. The timing of that injury was just as bad as it gets. He just entered the game again, came off the bench, and like 10 seconds later, there's a double whammy. It looked like it was going to be the knee, and then a combination of like the wrist or the elbow. He had to leave the game. We had Ian Eagle on this show earlier in the week. He read his lips live on the broadcast, and he's telling his teammates that he's done.
Yeah.
He wasn't. He came back into the game. Still did not look close to 100%. But this is Janai Broom to the media this week talking about his status for this game.
No, I'm be 100% on Saturday for sure.
Are you going to practice today or tomorrow?
I practiced today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Cool, Ray. No limitations today, you said.
No limitations.
You also said earlier you kind of pushed the elbow a little bit to kind of make it angry a little bit to test it. What kind of stuff were you doing?
I mean, just, hitting the wall. I was punching the wall, hitting the wall, elbowing the wall, falling on the ground on purpose, all type of stuff. I'm playing. Nah, I mean, I was doing stuff like just stretching it out, like extending my arm, bending it back and forth fast, just moving around. I would have like AD banging, just hit it, just to let him hit my arm, just to imitate the game-like thing, so.
All right, he's in a joking mood.
Incredible.
That's cool to hear.
It didn't look good.
No, God, no.
There was no way he was coming back into that game.
So assuming here for a second that unless these books look like if they're going to get an avalanche of money on Florida starting today and into tomorrow, I don't think it goes to 3. So if Broom is 100%, should the number even be Florida minus 2.5?
I think it's factored in what's happened when they came in on the lost 3 out of 4 coming into the tournament, though. Because from December 4th to March 4th, they only lost 1 game. They were incredible. And then it's like, oh, wait, what's going on now, right? It's the only time that's happened. No team has ever won the whole thing coming into the tournament 1-3 in the last 4, and no number 1 overall 1 seed as well. So I also think they have the issue where they can lose their minds and not get them the ball and take some horrific shots, as we saw at times. Remember, they were down 9 with 10 minutes left against Michigan. So a lot of times I thought Florida's in deep trouble. UConn could have beat them, and Texas Tech blew the game, but Michigan blew that as well. Now, great job. Here come the 20-2 run, and they made all their threes, but they were down 9 with 10 minutes left.
So my observations as we're sitting here on Friday before the Final Four, I've heard a couple of people who I would respect have a strong opinion on this game, and it goes both ways. They've made the case for both teams. The other game, it feels to me like everybody has a strong opinion, and it's both teams.
Uh-huh.
Like, I've heard plenty of people make the case that if you got Duke 4.5, it's a great number. That was absolutely worth a bet. It's no longer available. And just Houston's not going to be good enough to match them. On the flip side, I've heard a ton of people say that if it gets to like 5.5, which it did, or 6, Houston's going to have to be a play. And they've made the case that they might be able to beat them outright. I don't know. I like Duke in the game to advance. I think Houston has to play close to a perfect game to beat them.
I agree.
If they have an off-game shooting, they're dead.
I agree.
They're completely dead.
Yep. It's the best offensive team he's had. but you're also going against a top 5 defense, too.
Yeah, the true.
So if you have that performance like you did against Purdue, you're right, bye-bye. And it's a discussion we've had all week about how many points are they going to score. I mean, the team totals 65.5. I agree with Jay Billis. They're going to have to score more than 70 to win. I don't think they can do that.
I'll say that. I mean, last year the game was played in the 50s. If it's played in the 50s or the low 60s this time around, then, yeah, Houston can beat them. If it turns into more of a Duke game, no. Coming up, we'll update the MLB scoreboard, live numbers, and look at the card coming up tonight. I have to write a K-prop tonight based on how many times this team is striking out. I'll tell you about that next year on VSiN.
And we're out.
Okay, give me 1 sec. I need to load funds into my game.